Hello, I'm Elizabeth Kale, and I'm your Parks and Recreation Director for the City of Loveland. I'd like to take a few moments to provide some information about the grand reopening of Viestenz-Smith Mountain Park. As you know, our beloved mountain park was scoured by raging waters in the 2013 flood. It's been a long, dedicated effort, but we're eager to announce the grand reopening this fall. It's important to note that while Viestenz-Smith Mountain Park will look and feel very different than it did pre-flood, that was intentional. While many of the historic elements remain, the park was designed and constructed to be resilient to future flooding. A major part of our efforts of Viestenz-Smith Mountain Park was to move the river where it wanted to go, and that takes a lot of engineering. While you won't see the return of irrigated turf, playgrounds, or reservable shelters, what you will see is a stronger, more natural mountain park. Come explore the new look of Viestenz-Smith Mountain Park with its looped pathways, its fishing platforms, and 2 pedestrian bridges, all of which are ADA accessible. Know that you are experiencing a truly native mountain park in the majestic Colorado Rocky Mountains. It's my pleasure now to introduce Janet Meisel-Burns, former project manager on Viestenz-Smith Mountain Park, to talk about the remarkable transformation.
When we approached the redesign after the flood in 2013, we looked at nature as our guide. And the first thing we learned was that the river wanted to stay on the south side of the park. The whole river channel was rebuilt from the west side to the east side along the entire river. That meant cleaning up the site, preparing it for the new river alignment, and all the excavation work to put the river back in its location post-flood. So when a high velocity flow from a flood comes through, it will eat away the edges of the bank and scour the riverbank away. So as we constructed the new river alignment, we placed buried riprap walls, the stacked boulder walls, and the train walls that go back into the sides of the river to help with scour mitigation and protection. Many of those walls are visible only from the top few feet. The rest of those walls continue down several feet into the ground and below the river level. As the flood comes through, it will add scour protection and hold the river stable and in place. With a cost at around $4 million for both Phase 1 and Phase 2, the city needed substantial funding to support the rebuilding. If it wasn't for the federal emergency management dollars and the second dollars from the community development block grants, the city perhaps would not have reopened this park. In the end, the city chose to rebuild the park, and we feel it was the best move we could make to rebuild a beloved asset for the city of Loveland.